He called to tell me that our relationship is over. And he asked me to stay away, that he was getting married to someone else. The pain and betrayal were too much to bear. A true story of my heartbreaking journey and the price of revenge. Kindly subscribe to my channel and like my video. I met Andrew in 2011 when I was just 19 and just finished my basic education class in Kumasi. Andrew and I started dating that same year, and back then, the world seemed full of possibilities. He was charming and promised me the moon and stars. Little did I know that his sweet words would lead me down a path of heartbreak and regret. He was 5 years older, and I thought he had genuine intentions. He promised to support my education and marry me. I believed him, and that belief led me to give him everything. A month into our relationship, he took my virginity, and shortly after, I found myself pregnant. This was my first ever pregnancy, followed by a painful flush out that he insisted upon. Our relationship quickly became tumultuous. By the time I entered senior high school in Accra, I had already undergone my second pregnancy flush out. It was a painful and traumatic experience, but I was too in love and too naive to see the red flags. Throughout my senior high school years in Accra, I managed to sneak away to be with him. He never contributed financially, and despite his promises, I was the one funding our relationship. Andrew was always borrowing money, never repaying, and even consuming the provisions my parents sent me. Yet I clung to the hope that things would get better. I endured everything, hoping his promises of a better future would come true. It was a one-sided relationship, but I couldn't see that back then. Upon completing senior high school, I started teaching in a private school to save for my education. Andrew continued to drain my resources, never repaying the money he borrowed. He even suggested delaying my schooling for us to marry, a promise that kept me working extra jobs and saving for our supposed future together. I invested in making his room attractive, buying various items to improve its look and feel. After a while, I began urging him to meet my parents, but he consistently avoided the subject. However, he was often unfaithful, and his excuses about not meeting my parents grew tiresome. Andrew's demands never ceased. Blinded by love, I agreed. I took on extra jobs and sold water on weekends, all in the hope of building a life with him. Our relationship was filled with broken promises and unfaithfulness. I often caught him with other women or saw flirtatious messages on his phone. Yet, I stayed, thinking that my love and dedication would eventually win him over. In 2017, everything came crashing down. Andrew abruptly ended our relationship, claiming his parents didn't want him to marry someone from my ethnic background. I was shattered. The pain was unbearable, and for a moment I contemplated ending my life. But I found the strength to move on. 5 months later, he returned, begging for forgiveness and promising that we would get married regardless of his parents' wishes. Foolishly, I took him back. I got pregnant again, only to face yet another flush out. The final blow came in 2018 when I discovered Andrew with another woman. He had done the traditional knocking on her family's door, signifying his intention to marry her. I was devastated. He called me to confirm that our relationship was over and that I should stay away. The pain and betrayal were too much to bear. In a moment of desperation and anger, I sought out a medicine man in Kumasi who had previously helped my family. I wanted revenge, and he gave me something to pour at Andrew's doorstep. Soon after, he lost his sanity. I moved on with my life, thinking little of it until I saw him in 2021. I saw Andrew again wandering the streets of Accra, and his condition broke my heart. I've moved back to another state, continuing my life as a government teacher, but the weight of my actions haunts me. Recently, I saw Andrew again on my way to Kumasi, and his state was even worse. The weight of my actions became unbearable. I became haunted by my past. The medicine man who initially helped me is no longer alive. I heard he died 4 months ago. One day, I visited Andrew's old neighborhood in Accra to gather more information about his current state. I spoke to a few neighbors who knew about his condition. They told me that Andrew often talked about me in his incoherent moments, mentioning my name and crying out for forgiveness. It was heartbreaking to hear, and it intensified my resolve to find a way to undo the curse. I also discovered that Andrew's fiancée, the woman he chose over me, had left him shortly after he went mad. She couldn't handle his condition and abandoned him. It was a stark reminder that his betrayal not only hurt me, but also led to his downfall. I wondered if she knew about our past, about how deeply intertwined our lives were, and if she felt any remorse for taking him away. In my quest for redemption, I reached out to several traditional healers and spiritual leaders across Ghana, but none have been able to provide a solution. Some have told me that the curse is too powerful to be undone, while others have suggested complex rituals that I've been unable to complete. Some of my friends advised me to let him remain mad, while others supported my efforts to find a solution for Andrew. I am desperate to find a way to undo the curse entirely, but the journey has been exhausting and filled with dead ends. I want to free Andrew from this madness and free myself from the weight of my actions, but at this point there's nothing I could do. Sometimes the lines between love and pain blur so deeply that we lose sight of ourselves. This is a true life story of Andrew and me, a tale that spans over a decade, marked by love, betrayal, and a desperate act of revenge that I now seek to undo. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more stories. Your support means the world to us. Thank you for watching, and remember, sometimes letting go is the only way to truly move on.